Do you want to take your images from this to this? Let me show you how I made it using the Node Machine plugin. So the first thing I did was take this image and just select the subject, then separate it again into 2 layers. And now let's go into the effect. So for this, you will need Node Machine. And the first thing I'm going to do is select the chameleon layer in Story. Now after this, we can go into preview mode and start messing with the settings. First, you will see a small generation being done. I can go ahead and hide the layer, that way we can see way better. So what I did to achieve this effect was first selecting grid mode and activating it. That way all the points are arrayed into a regular grid. The next thing I did was also click on depth to activate it, and that scales up or down the dots depending on the luminance scale. I'm also going to increase the intensity, and that is going to bring in more connections, but also more dots. I also edited the grid to make it smaller and played around a bit with the threshold to get rid of some of the values. Let me adjust a bit the scale more and the grid size just a tiny bit more. Okay, once we're done editing this, we can hit on generate to lock the preview, and that is going to allow us to play around more and get another generation. So for the eye, what I did is pretty much the same thing, but selecting white instead of this. Now I'm going to switch to selection mode. That way I can art direct where I want the generation to take place in. So I'm going to selection mode, and I'm going also to select the ellipse tool. That way I can select the eye like this. I'm going to click on the chameleon layer and store the selection. That way it only generates on this selection based on the light values of the chameleon layer. So I'm going to update it, and we can hide the layer. That way we can preview. I'm going to go ahead and hit on the preview mode, and that will give us a result right away. I need the density to be lower. That way we can see more dots. So that's what I'm going to do. And also scale up a bit the grid. And that is a very good result. Okay, once we're done with this, we can hit on render, and that is going to again log the preview into a render state. And the last thing I'm going to do is select the stick and do the same thing, but with an orange yellowish tone. Going to do something like this, and we can do the same thing for the dots, but in actuality I think I'm going to do white. That way they pop up a bit more. So I'm going to go back to layer mode and click on the store layer button. Once you have it stored, we can hide the layer and click on preview to preview again. We don't want grid or depth in this, so we can get rid of those. And I'm going to increase the distance. That way we get more connections. That is going to look good already, but I want some more scale. And that is looking pretty good. Now, you will see a difference between this result and the one in the beginning, and that is going to be this connections on the side. That is going to be a more intricate setup, so let me explain how it works. So first of all, let me get rid of this old one and go back to the chameleon layer so I can select it again. Let me also select green for the colors and store the layer again. I'm going to hit on preview, that way we can see what we are doing, and set the distance to 0 because we are looking for only a grid for now. Click on depth, click on grid, and increase the density a lot. For the next step, I'm going to click on map, which is going to generate a new layer that is going to allow us to art direct where we want the connections and the turbulence to take place in. So I'm going to bring it back down so we can see the subject again, and paint with white where we want our connections and turbulence to be. So in my case, I want it here on the side, and that way you will see now it will take place the effect only on this side. We can hide this layer and now slide the turbulence slider for the effect to take place only in this side. We can also add more connections by sliding the distance, and we can mask it with the mask slider. That is a bit too much, but we can always bring back the density if we do something like this. And that is going to get us a way closer result to what we had in the beginning. Now, once you're done with your generation, you can always hit on render. And in my case, I'm going to delete the turbulence map because we don't need it anymore. If I toggle between this, you will see they are different because every generation is going to be different. That's what makes this plugin great. So if you want Node Machine, you can join the waitlist now. Link is in the description.